Hey, what's up there, YouTube? How you doing today? Or I should say tonight. Um, been watching, not saying much, not even commenting on something's been going on. Usually I'm right up and in there dropping comments in different people's videos. I've been watching about this whole thing going on with Kate Middleton and uh, Obama being over there right now in England and bunch of other different things connected to that, and it's really weird. A lot of people think that possibly Prince Philip, or not Prince Philip, William uh, of the royal family of England is possibly the Antichrist, and he's about to become king. Um, Charles passed away, and you have the possibility that happened. And I think Charles was diagnosed around Christmas time. They said something about him having cancer, maybe right after that. And then you had other issues going on with the whole royal family. Like I said, Kate Middleton. All of a sudden, they weren't able to locate her. She wasn't around. Nobody saw any pictures, and basically, she went in around Christmas time. I believe December 25th, the Christmas time, was the last time they actually had a photo of her. Right after that, she went in for some kind of surgery, supposedly on her abdomen. Uh, Something happened. There was a rumor just recently that they induced coma on her to help her recover or something. She was in the hospital all this time. And the weird thing is they said a while back that she wouldn't be around till Easter. Okay, it was Christmas that the supposed birth date of our Lord, and Easter, the death date. Is when they think that she'll be back. It's kind of a weird thing there, but there's a lot of weird things going on. I think it was a guy Wally Tron 101 or something. He's got videos he's been working on all this stuff with the whole Antichrist, looking and waiting and watching and all this. But at the end of the day, no matter what's going on there, and if there is any tie-in or connection to the Antichrist, you know what? Tough shit. I ain't waiting on the Antichrist. I'm waiting for Jesus' return. The Antichrist is just a sign of the times of what's going on, as far as I'm concerned. The real power is in Jesus Christ. That's who we should be looking for and waiting on. Now, however, maybe there is something going on with this whole thing with the Antichrist. I don't know. But one thing I do know is weird. Obama's over there right now. And there's a lot of people speculated for a long time that he might be the Antichrist or some kind of tie in there. There's some connection, and that Prince William was. I heard back years ago, and it was actually a magazine cover in the 1980s when he was young, Prince William, that he was literally like holding a sheep, like a shepherd. Get it? And it was right around that same time. I don't know that. I don't think it was the same sheep. The picture on a magazine cover. But at the same time, roughly, I believe, I could be off by a few years, they had cloned, I think it was in Scotland, cloned a sheep named Dolly. And to me, that's an affront to God. You're playing like you're God, and in my opinion, God's not happy with that. If they're actually cloning, they're doing what I believe the fallen angels did. They came here and taught stuff that was not right. Let's just say God probably doesn't want us messing around with it. The genetic code and all this stuff. I'm going a long way to get into this because there's a lot to talk about here. But I believe that's how this is a crazy theory. I'm jumping around. Just try to follow me. But I was talking about this the other day with somebody. A lot of people don't believe the Bible is real, and one of the arguments they'll throw out there is, how did they get all these animals on the ark, and the Noah's Ark. Okay, how did they have an alligator standing next to a zebra and a giraffe and a mouse, and nobody ate nobody or nothing? Well, here's how it could have been done. Just a theory, nothing more, but something that came to me in the middle of the night and woke me up like that. Very possibly, in Revelations, the angels bring bowls and vials to dump on humanity for judgment, okay? Some small container or something. Why couldn't they also have vials of our DNA? In other words, that's how they got them on the ark. They may have brought Noah, let's just say, for kicks and giggles, possibly the Ark of a Covenant, long before the Ark of the Covenant was around. Maybe it was around or something very close to it that literally held the DNA of all everything, or something to that effect. What I'm getting at is that way you could reanimate, or we couldn't, but maybe God's angels or whatever. But it could have been the same thing with the Nephilim. There was an evil side, and there's an Ark of Gabriel they talk about. It was dug up near Mecca a while back, and a Russian freighter took it to Antarctica. This is a few years, 2017. And what I'm saying is there might be shit we don't even know about. It's not in the Bible because God didn't deem it necessary. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. And it's only a theory, but I'm wondering if the whole thing with the Noah's Ark. Let me just try to stick with one point. My mind works in a lot of different directions. And again, I'm just throwing this out, speculation. I have no way to prove this. And I'm not even going to try to force you to believe anything I'm saying. You believe what you're going to believe, but these are just ideas that came to me. And maybe it's a crazy idea, that's all. But I think that with the whole thing with the whole Noah's Ark argument, I've had thousands of times people tell me, it could never happen. How did they get them onto the ark? That's at least giving you, if you're going to follow science, there you go. There's your DNA. Boom. All right. It's not like kind of sounded like a fairy tale, like we had a unicorn over here and this over there. They literally may have took genetic material. For instance, when God passed over, when the angels passed over the houses during Passover, and they put the blood, and they knew not to. All this could be genetic material and things. I don't know if you even get what I'm trying to go at. Like, and you can wrap up the whole alien phenomenon too, where people are probed and taken stuff. Maybe these are angels, both fallen angels and real angels, taking our DNA for later to reanimate us. I don't know. Maybe God sent them out. They're messengers. But again, I have zero proof any of this happened. These are just theories. So don't go storming off and saying this guy's a whack job or something. Maybe I am, but I'm just throwing it out there to try to say, is it possible any of this is right? But anyway, I drifted way off the point. I'm talking about 18 different things here. Let me go back to what I was originally talking about. Obama right now is he's over in England, and they just went to number 10 Downing Street, I believe, and I'm not sure. I think that's a government building there. I can't remember what it was for, but the number 10 was significant, I guess, because Roman numeral 10, the X marks the spot. That's what Wally-tron was saying on his video. Yeah, that could all be coincidence too, but maybe not. Maybe all this stuff does mean something. But again, I'm going to bring it back down to one final thought there with that, is that we're looking at the wrong thing. It's distraction, no matter what, whether I'm right, wrong, or anything. The number one thing we need to be looking for is Jesus Christ. He's the answer. There's the key to heaven. Keep that in front of you, because we're being distracted 10 million different ways. And that's why, on one hand, I stopped talking about all the, theory type stuff recently. Around Super Bowl Sunday, I was going off on stuff. I thought this meant that. And I ain't doing that no more. My focus is on going home. and we all ought to be doing that. However, curiosity's got the better part of me. I got to admit to that. And I really think that there's something going on here that we just don't understand. It's beyond us, but we're seeing little bits and pieces of it. And I had a dream. You can go back and look. It was a while back. I made a video on it. It was the craziest dream. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all around. I got so much to say, and it's hard to focus on it and get you what I'm talking about. But this dream I had, it was strange. I was trying to do a jigsaw puzzle, and the puzzle was upside down on the table, and I couldn't see the picture. So now it's twice as hard to do. You know how you do a jigsaw puzzle and you're putting it. So it was upside down, and it was like the color brown or tan, whatever they are, on the backside of a puzzle. And on that puzzle, each piece said the number 23. Don't know what the hell it meant, but it was so disturbing for some weird reason. Or not necessarily disturbing, it just, when I woke up, I couldn't get it out of my head. And for a while, I thought about it, and I think it meant something. And I remember saying, man, I got to go make a video. The next day or something, I made one. So there is one out there, and I'll find it. It was a series of 3 dreams at night, too, which is weird. I don't do normally. I woke up, and then I dreamed again. I woke up. Anyway, see, I'm way off the point. I'm sorry about this. I get talking, I roll, man. I'm all over the fucking board. But what I'm trying to say, I'll go back one more time and try to round this up so it makes some sense, because I'm way off the point. What I was trying to say is that I believe that right now things are happening that we can't understand, like I said. And what we got to do, I said this too a moment ago, is focus on Jesus. That's the number one thing. But besides that, I do believe some of what I'm hearing is tied into all this stuff, but it could also be distraction and maybe not get too deep into it. There's nothing wrong with peeking down a rabbit hole. Another thing, getting lost in a rabbit hole. Now's not the time to be digging around, falling down deep ass rabbit holes, because Jesus is coming back. And that's what I best stick to, that point. The Sherlock Holmes in me wants to go figure out what all that other shit means. But the one thing I do figure out is God's the answer, and we got to stick to that. So I started out talking about all this crap with the Antichrist. Let me get back for 1 minute, and then I'm leaving it the hell alone. There's a lot of tie-ins to the movie The Omen, too, and Wally Tron was talking about that. The strange thing is, months ago, I noticed the same type of thing. I think at one point in The Omen, the original one, there was a convergence of 3, what the hell is this? There's something on the screen. Okay. 3 stars meeting in the sky. It was supposed to usher in the Antichrist or something. I vaguely remember seeing it as a kid. The movie The Omen. Anyway, see, now I feel like I'm babbling, because I got so much to say and I can't even get into it too well. Basically, I'm going back to what I just said a minute ago. All this shit means nothing, even though I'm sitting here talking about for half an hour. But what does mean something is Jesus Christ is returning, and look for him, and basically forget everything else. I just wasted like 25 minutes of your time talking about that, but how about the other shit? However, I understand, why people look at that, and I just feel like I'm talking in circles. So you know what? I'll leave you with this. Look for Jesus, and live for Jesus, because there ain't much time left. And I'll leave it at that and end this live stream. If I feel the need to come back on and babble some more, I'm sorry, but I did have some points there that I was talking about, that I do believe that the whole thing with the Noah's Ark and everything, I think that's the only possible way to actually put all those animals on an ark, would be in vials, literally their DNA. And if you look in the book of Enoch, see, there's certain things I want to still talk about with that, like Enoch, in the book of Enoch, which is not in the Bible. It's a separate story. However, Enoch was in the Bible. It was talk of fallen angels came and were teaching different practices and sciences and whatever you want to call it, sorcery and all this other stuff that they weren't supposed to be teaching to the human beings. And it's in there, but I think one of the things is the genetic code. That God's got his name written in each and every one of us in the genetic code, and they're playing around with it. And the same thing with the MNRA and all this other crap. That's got to be pissing God off. They are literally defiling the temple of your body, which is you're made in the image of God. They are insulting God, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm just going on here. I'm going to hop off of here, and you can try to absorb what I said, see whether it was nonsense or whether I had any good points. I'll be back later to try to clarify, because right now I have about 800 things on my mind trying to get out, and I don't know if you guys understood what I was talking about any of that time, but I think, the Antichrist is right on the scene soon, and I think it's going to be that the eclipse is going to be possibly the coronation of the Antichrist or something right there. The funny thing is...
Hello, Moto.
What the hell? I'm going to have to end this. There's a phone call coming through. I don't know if you can hear me. This sucks. All right, there you go. Sorry about that. So maybe God wants me to stop right where I'm at. Anyway, I'll probably come back on and try to make sense out of some of what I said, and I hope some of you understood what I was trying to say. And you guys have a great night. But again, I'll boil it down to the one thing, is that our focus needs to be on Jesus Christ, not the Antichrist coming. Screw the Antichrist. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the light. You guys have a great night. Sorry if I was rambling all over and you made no sense out of it. I have a lot of different things I'm talking about. I'm going to try to write them down, maybe I'll talk about them. But again, I don't want to focus on that in a way, because I think that's a trap or a distraction to get too tied up. And that's why I started leaving the rabbit holes alone for the last few weeks. I guess it was around Super Bowl Sunday, I was neck deep in rabbit holes. And I don't think that's what we should be doing. Maybe glancing down them, but not getting pulled down them. You know what I mean? So, anyway, have a good one. Thumbs up, please. And you guys have a great night.